Now
Yeah.
I heard that you know when it split, when everybody split, like Big Meech's side like wanted to kill Terry.
Yeah, yeah. So see, at that time, see, Blue, he wouldn't tell me a lot of shit because he knew I would get out of Dodge. I would be like, man, I'm out here, bro, because I wasn't with the negativity. I'm a music motherfucker. You feel me? I'm a music producer, so I was around for the music, but I'm a real nigga too. I'm from the hood, so and Blue stemmed from my cousin and all them. So he always was like a brother, you know what I'm saying, to me at the time. And Meech became my brother too. But yeah, so yeah, it was a lot of times like Blue wouldn't tell me shit. He only tell me the good shit, you know what I'm saying? And but I learned shit because I was around the families and me being around, J-Bo, I ended up producing for J-Bo, or ended up producing for the other different families in BMF and having my own relationship with other people in the family, just being around. I'm living the lifestyle with them, and it came with a lot, and it came with relationships. So yeah, man, like yeah, we learned like we had our side, their side. It was some clashes. You know what I'm saying? It was some situations where we ran into them in clubs, and you know what I'm saying, and it was about to be a standoff. It was about to be a shootout, or you know what I'm saying. And I'm
Well,
glad
then
nothing came from that.
okay, so at one point, Meech is on house arrest,
Hmm.
and I believe he sends everybody home. I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, and I guess everybody's in LA. I think this happened in LA, and Meech is like on a big screen or something, and it's Terry's birthday, and Meech is kind of saying something, and but the two sides of BMF are there.
No, that was maybe later. When you talking about that, that was Meech's at the compound. When he was on the screen, he was at the compound. That wasn't Terry's party.
That wasn't
That
Terry's
came. That
party.
came. That was a Vegas party. I think it was in Vegas and shit, and ran into Teep's side, and it was about to be a standoff. Yeah,
Okay.
that party when you saying Meech was there and he was on the screen and he sent everybody home. That was the compound because after he sent everybody home, we came back and went to Cancun. He had paid for a trip for Lil Jon and everybody. We went to Cancun and did a label launch. We label launched in our label, and then when we got back to Atlanta, we did the compound, which was maybe like months later. We did a compound Meech slash. He still was on house arrest a little bit because he couldn't be there. Was he there that night? I think he came there briefly. But yeah, no, that was the no, that was something else. No, he came to the compound. He was off of house arrest then, cause he went and went to Cancun without the house arrest.
Okay,
So,
but what happened when you guys ran into T's side? Like, so there's tension going on.
mm-hmm,
Everybody's mad about this cartel situation.
mm-hmm.
And how do you guys just, just coincidence run into T's side at the club? Like, how
No,
does all
I
that
can
go
say
down?
we was all we knew we was all in the same area. You feel me? We knew we was all out in the same area, but we went to the club. Our side was fucking with our side. His side was fucking with his side. When we went to the club, you can say our sides with our side, his side is with his side, and basically, it was some words exchanged. You feel me, between some brothers and shit, and we was in the back like we was in the back ready for Meech to give us a signal like we was about to, kill squad shit, and they had their entourage and they was ready to do some shit. You feel me? And the brothers just had a conversation. You feel me? Because generally they love each other. They brothers. Their mom raised them right. You know what I'm saying? It could have got ugly though, because we was ready. We had guns in the clubs, and we tipped the whole fucking bouncers that night. The bouncers got 1,000. They didn't don't search my click. We got guns and the shit. We you know what I'm saying? We got pistols and everything. And I'm pretty sure they had pistols too. But we was ready. To defend Big Meech. You feel me? Like, we didn't give a fuck at that time. We was like, we knew what was happening, so we was trained to go. And if Meech say go, we go. We didn't give a fuck. You feel me? And that happened a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? We'll be out and we'll wait for Big Meech signal. It was a lot of times, like I said, we would wait for Big Meech signal or Blue signal or some, different, and we would react. You feel me? It was a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? We like I seen Shook Knight was my football coach at Centennial. When I went to Centennial, I went to Morningside Centennial. I went to Centennial. My football coach was Omar Bradley, with the mayor was Compton at the time. He had a nephew going to our school, so he became our football coach. He had Suge Knight as our football coach, and I seen
Suge Knight was your football coach. So
for
this
like
when was this?
maybe like in 97, 96, 97 years of being in Centennial. You feel
Okay.
me?
So this was Death Row was already blown up and
Yeah,
he was
Death Row. The Chronic album was definitely out. That came back. That was back in the early '90s, like 92, 93 or something, right?
yeah.
91.
Chronic came out in '92.
The first Chronic, right?
Yeah, not
So
Chronic
that album was
92.
out. That album was out. I was in high school. When that album came out, I was in 8th grade, 9th grade, going into 9th. So by the time my 9th grade year, 10th grade, no, my 10th grade year, I was at Centennial. I went to 9th grade. I went to Verbum Day, all boys school, Catholic school. That first 9th grade year. After that, I went to Centennial and Morningside. I got kicked out of both schools, ditching it. But anyway, long story short, Suge Knight was my football coach for definitely like 3-4 practices.
Oh, that's it? Just 3-4 practices?
About 3 or 4 practices. After that, he was out of there. His company was going. They was gone. He was death row. I say the Chronic album was in '92. I ran into Suge Knight. He came to my practice like 96, 90, you know what I'm saying? So they was eating. So, but he was cool with the mayor of Compton. Maybe through politics or something was going on. He was probably fucking with Omar Bradley. You feel me? He had a lot going on. Suge at the time. The streets was going on, and he needed the mayor favor. You feel me? For different. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I noticed being older. The mayor of Compton, Omar Bradley, he invited Suge Knight to our practices. You feel me? He was like, "I'm gonna be y'all defensive line coach," and he was talking to us and about life and about just being a better football player at the time. Yeah.
Okay, now how do you start doing music? Like, what's your, what I'm saying, like, how do you get into producing?
Well, like I say, it's all stemmed from church, being in church. My mom and my daddy, I'm a drummer. I'm a musician naturally, and so basically, my dad, he built the studio on the east side. You feel me? He took a liking to, he knew that I was talented, and I always knew I wanted to be a producer since a kid. I always knew I wanted to be a producer and make beats. I always had tunes in my head. I'd be in school, playing on books and beating on books, getting bored of the lesson. And like I say, my first introduction to music was, like I said, my dad. Him and my mom broke up. We was on the east side. I met Blue Da Vinci, and I started making beats. And I learned that Razzcast was my cousin. I had people that was already in the music business that was doing, like, I didn't know E40 was my cousin, but I learned later that E40 was my cousin through marriage and affiliation.
You know Turf Talk?
Yeah, that's my cousin through Turf Talk.
Turf Talk's from Rialto.
Okay, that's my cousin.
He grew up. We went to the same high school.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's Turf Talk is my cousin. You can call him right now. Yeah. I learned that
I
later.
don't know him.
I learned it later through going through family reunions that Turf Talk was my cousin, and then him and E40 affiliation. And I had worked with E40 maybe about 3 or 4 times before that. But
before you knew he was your cousin?
Before I knew he was my cousin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, going back to my music introduction, like I said, my dad built the studio. Bam, we met Blue Da Vinci. I knew SKG. She was a rapper. She was my sister or whatever. We was at this guy named Mark Gordon's studio. He used to produce for he was part of Levert, the group Levert, with Gerald Levert and the Leverts and stuff like that. Mark Gordon was a part of that group. So we was going up there at the studio, and I met Big Chuck. Big Chuck was an A&R for Aftermath. So he took a liking to our beats. Terrence Martin too. I don't know if you know who Terrence Martin is. He's a famous producer. Kendrick Lamar, a lot of different stuff. His name is on. YG, Ghost producer, main producer, jazz musician, real talented. We was all going to Mark Gordon's studio, and we had new Big Chuck. Big Chuck was an A&R at Aftermath. So Big Chuck was like, man, you like a baby Dre. He was looking at me like, oh, you like a baby Dre, bro. Like you do this, you do that. And he wanted me to play some beats for Dr. Dre. And I was up there, and basically he invited me to a studio session with Dr. Dre. You feel me?
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.